Okay, another video on inverse proportions. And first of all, let's just summarize. We have a table of values here. We're going to try and find the connection between the x and y values. Then we're going to use that equation to find the missing y values. We're given a big clue here. So it is known that y is inversely proportional to the square of x. So we're going to go ahead and write down part A is the link between y and x always looks like this, all right? But now we have to be careful with the way the question is worded. It's inversely proportional to the square of x, so that's what should appear here. So we've got a little squared missing, all right? So let's go and add that now. Okay, so y is inversely proportional to, that means k divided by, the square of x. Okay, so the square of x is the last thing on the bottom. Inversely proportional to means k divided by. All right, so that's how to unpack the words. So that's part A done. Now let's have a look at part B. Part B is use the table of values to calculate the value of k and hence write out the full equation. All right, so in the previous video, I said it didn't actually matter which pair of values you substituted into the equation. All right, so let's go and choose any numbers that we like. I'm going to choose the purple one, right, the 10 for x and y is 2. So let's go ahead and write that down and see what happens. So when x equals 10, the y value equals 2. And this pair of values must make this equation true. So we go ahead and substitute into our equation. So remember, with a substitution, we just replace the letters with the actual numbers. Okay, so instead of the y here, we replace it with the 2. All right. Instead of the k, well, we actually don't know what the k is, right? So we have to leave k exactly where it is. And we have, instead of the x, we are going to replace it with 10. So we have 10, but don't forget we've got a 10 squared there. All right, so there we have it. We've substituted the values of x and y in here. We have to now rearrange, and I think you know how to rearrange. K equals, well, the 2 stays where it is, and the 10 squared comes up here. So it's 10 squared times 2. And you guys can reach for a calculator. But I think you should be able to do this in your head. 10 squared is 100, right, not 20. 10 squared is 100. 100 times 2 is 200. So k equals 200. So that would mean we can go back to this stage and write down y equals k, which is 200 divided by the square of x squared. So this little guy here is indeed the equation linking x and y equals 200 divided by x squared. And we can go test that out a little bit to see if it works for all the other numbers. Look, if x equals 5, we substitute it in here. 5 squared is 25, and 200 divided by 25 is indeed 8. So that works. If x equals 20, we can substitute 20 in here. 20 squared is 400. 200 divided by 400 is a half. And look, we've got exactly 0.5, a half. Yep. So again, it doesn't matter which pair of x, y values you actually substitute in at this stage. Each pair of values will arrive at the same final answer as 200 for k. And then the final part, C. So we've got to find in the missing values of y. And so when x equals 2, we want to find the y partner. And when x equals 40, we want to find the y partner. So let's go ahead and write down x equals 2 and x equals 40. And now we are going to use our equation here. We are going to drag that down there, but we are going to substitute x equals 2 in place of the x. So let's go ahead and try and work that out now. So y equals 200 divided by x squared. That is 200 divided by 4, which equals 50. And the bottom one, y equals 200 divided by 40 squared. Again, a calculator is fine. This should be 200 divided by 1600. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that all in one go on the calculator. So if I just flick out to the calculator here, let me just clear that. So 200 divided by 40 to the power of 2 equals 0.125. And it's fine to put your answer as a decimal, 0.125, okay? So just summarise again. We're given a table of values. We need to find the rule linking x and y, but we don't have to kind of guess what the rule is. We're given this big clue. We translate those words into an equation. We don't know what the k is. Remember, the k is this proportion, the constant of proportionality. We take an xy pair of values from the table to find the value of k. And then we use the equation in the final part to find the missing y values. All right, so use this video to help you with these 3 questions. Show all your working out in your notebooks, and don't skip any stages. Don't just write down answers. Show me the full working out as is given in this particular screenshot here of the video.